Okay, just want to make sure we're going to have a microphone roaming as well.
Oh.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I know you guys want to meet and mingle with rock royalty. So I'm going to keep it as short as possible. There is a microphone roaming in the crowd. If you ever wanted to ask Smokie something, now is your time. It's a matter of speak now or forever hold your peace, yet you're not marrying one of the band members today. Right. Okay, let's start with the Take a Minute album, guys. Take a Minute World Tour in South Africa. Tell us more about the album and the follow-up album. What are you guys busy with at the moment? Because you are recording even while you're on the road. Let's get to Terry.
Hello. Yeah, the Take a Minute thing is basically it's been running since 2010, and we're halfway through and we're 6 tracks into a new album. Finding the time to actually get in there in the studio after, when you do 100 concerts a year, it's very difficult to find that slot. And when the studio that we use, which is quite local to where we are, it's got to be vacant. So we find it's increasingly difficult to find us. We're hoping to get in by February, put it that way.
And how does it affect being on the road for 10.5 months? How does that affect family life for you guys? I see Steve is smiling broadly over there.
Well, it's not 10. It's not 10 actually. We work it out that we're away from our homes about 8 months of every year. Yeah.
And Steve, how does that affect your family life?
I think they're just used to it. It's our job, our business. They've come along with it for the last 25, 30, 40 years. And so they know that we go out the door, we go and do our thing, and then we come back. So it really doesn't cause us a problem. We're very lucky that, well, certainly myself, my marriage has lasted quite a long time. And in this business, that's quite an achievement, And that's not because I've been a really good boy. But I don't know why it is, but it's just lasted.
Steve's more concerned about how it affects his golf. Oh. Steve, he has a house in Spain on a golf course. He has a house in England on a golf course. He's played twice. He's played twice so far, and won while he's been in South Africa. He's playing tomorrow. He's playing the day after.
And I wasn't invited, Steve. Guess where my next holiday is going to be? At the golf estate where you're living. I'll bring my bag.
Oh, yes, you can do that.
I'll bring my own caddy for that.
And bring some money as well.
No problem.
He's played with Ernie Els and Gary Player.
And you beat them?
No, I didn't actually beat them, no.
On handicap, maybe.
It was a great pleasure to play with them. It was fantastic.
We had a hand up here for a question from the audience.
Yes, in America there was a little girl. She was locked up in a basement for 24 years. You guys didn't have anything to do with it, did you?
Oh, that was a bit cruel. Oh, dear me. Next question. Yeah, moving on swiftly.
Is that why Sally moved?
That's amazing, because every time we do interviews, it doesn't matter what country we go to, we always say the questions are always the same. Every time you get the questions, always never been asked a fresh question until now. That was the first time we've been asked that one.
Nobody ever asks about Sally. It's always about Alice. Who is Alice? And Sally is the first word of the song, and nobody asks about Sally.
But okay, on the Take a Minute album, you guys do say that Sally doesn't live here anymore, and the story does continue, isn't it?
Well, that's basically because the guy involved with Alice finally got hooked up with Sally, and then she buggered off as well. So it's like he's very unlucky in love as this geezer.
We got a question from a youngster over here.
Sorry, from the bikers in South Africa, every day, Joel, every rally, you guys' music is being played. You guys rock. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Can we get the microphone over to this side, please? Thank you. Switch on.
What is it like being a rock star?
I don't know. It's we don't feel like that, and I think your typical rock star image is, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever, and we're just not like that. It's, we've never thrown televisions out of windows or whatever.
I threw the remote control out last night. It's the only thing I could pick up.
No, we honestly we just enjoy the fans and whinge. I mean, we get treated very, very well as well, you know. But
It's a good question from a young man
it is a very
to
good
ask
question,
what's
it
it
is.
like. I think the plain truth is it's a lot of very, very hard work. A lot of love and dedication for the music that we play. It's a lot of hard work. It's not easy at all. If you're considering a career in the music industry, be prepared for it being very, very hard work indeed. We spend a lot of time traveling. We spend a lot of time waiting around in airports. We spend a lot of time waiting around in hotels. And the 1.5 hours that we spend on stage is probably the highlight of the day when we get to play with an audience. So, but it is hard work.
It is hard work.
Just remember that. And you've got to work hard at it.
yeah, I don't know many people in jobs where you can be awake for 16, 17 hours and then go to work. Sometimes that's very, very tough. If you're going to a foreign land and you're going on the day, and you've got 2 airplanes to get, and so you're up at 4 in the morning to get the 6 o'clock flight, and you're travelling all day, and you're on the run all the time. You know, you're eating on the run. So thank God for Subway sandwiches and stuff like that. You know.
We also have a few perks as well, like we go to music shops like this, and before we leave, they give us things half price.
Where's Vanessa? There she is.
I used to think exactly what you said years ago when I was a boy like you. And I think the only way I could imagine it then, and I think it is now, you know, when you go on your holidays and you have a lovely time, you stay in a lovely hotel and you just enjoy yourself. That's exactly what it's like. You go on your holidays, you enjoy yourself. It is hard work. You get up early in the morning. You don't get much sleep. But it's just like that. It's just like having a holiday that you look back on and you think, oh, how good was that? So when I'm 86, I'll look back and I'll say, yeah, that was bloody great.
How come Kamchatsky in Russia was a holiday?
But seeing as somebody young has asked us that question, what I would say to you is, work hard in school, do everything you need to do before you leave school, make sure you get good exam results, because this is a hard business. And for every one person that makes it like Smokie, there's 1,000 don't. So you need to be prepared to have something else to fall back on. So work hard at school.
Got about 2 more questions. We had one here from a lady who's a bit shy to talk to the band. She wants to, Anya, who said she wants to know what is each band member's favorite Smokie track. I asked you this during the telephonic interview, Mike, and it was a difficult pick, but let's narrow it down now to one track, just one track.
I think I said that everybody has a place in their hearts for the song that we sang earlier, which was If You Think You Know How to Love Me. Terry will tell you it's a special song for him because it was the first hit for the band. And it probably is the one song that if we had to pick, I think we've all said it at one time, haven't we, that If You Think You Know How to Love Me is the one track that is common to all of us as a favourite song.
Right, and tomorrow night it's going to be Carnival City, Saturday night as well. What can people here expect from Smokie tomorrow night?
It's not going to be Carnival City, it's going to be Carnage City, okay? We're going to tear the place to pieces. It's like coming home, you know. When we drove in today, it's sort of, yeah, here we are, we're home. But South Africa, full stop, feels like home to us. But certainly when we end the little tour on Carnival City, it's like, yeah, we've come home for the last 2 gigs.
Great, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Also, I'm going to let you loose in the crowd, and then we're going to have a couple of drinks. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Smokie.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, hang about. There's another youngster with one question.
How did you become famous?
I think we may have just answered that earlier by saying that we worked very, very hard. Mick said you've got to be lucky as well. But, yeah, you've got to work very, very hard to do what we do. It's not easy at all. So are you thinking about the music industry? Is that what you're thinking about? Yeah? Well, like we said to this gentleman here, you've got to work very, very hard. Go to school, get good grades, make sure you've got something to fall back on if it doesn't quite work out. But, yeah, work hard.
Not by looks.
Guys, once again, thank you very, very much for your time and looking forward to tomorrow night and Saturday night. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Smokie.